Hey guys, Nate Wolfel here. Just wanted to stop in and give you a quick tip of a nice natural bass fishing presentation that I've been using here, especially effective in fall and in river situations, but can really be used in a lot of situations. What I've been doing is I've been taking minnows and just using them weightless on a hook like this. This is a number 2 Falcon hook, a wacky setup here. And really all you do for this nice natural presentation is you lip hook the minnow. This is a large fathead minnow. And you put the hook right through the bottom jaw and up through the top, like where the nostril would be of the fish. And what this allows you to do is to swim this bait, essentially. It gives you a nice natural feel, a nice natural look for the fish. And without the weight, it kind of floats at a more natural level of the water column compared to a weighted hook or a weighted a sinker type situation. So essentially the way you work this is you utilize the natural current and water situation in the river to make this as natural of a presentation as possible. Again, this is what it's all about. It's just being natural and doing what the fish want. In fall, bass are often feeding on schooling bait fish, so we're going to give them one. And one of the particular advantages to this over a fake minnow or some kind of artificial lure meant to imitate a minnow is that this minnow, using a live one, will do a lot of the swimming for you and really give that natural feel. You can't really do any better than using a real minnow. Some guys use this with shad. I prefer the large fathead minnows. I just feel like it's a more approachable size for the fish that I'm fishing. If you're targeting larger fish and you know that, shad may be your better option. Also matching the hatch, taking note of what you have around you, and fishing with the type of minnows that you have in your river systems or your lake systems will obviously be advantageous to you. So what I do is I cast it out and let it sink a little bit, as much as it's going to sink naturally. There's no sinker on this setup at all. So you're only using the weight of the hook and the weight of the fish to present this. The weight of the minnow, I should say. So what you're going to do then is after that fall, a lot of fish will take it on that initial drop. This has a really low profile, so you're not really making a scene when this drops into the water. So it's going to be a nice gradual sink toward the bottom. You're probably only going to get a foot or two down, and then I will start slowly reeling in the slack and just twitching it along slightly, allowing the live minnow to do its thing and kind of swim along naturally. And then you can play it a few ways. You can let the current take it, or you can kind of control the speed of it by reeling in and managing your slack. That's really up to you, kind of playing the situation you're in to give the most realistic presentation you can. One reason I prefer this to floating it under a bobber is because you have more control. With the bobber, you're at the mercy of the current, and while you do have a lot more consistent depth, the action pretty much relies on only the current and the fish's natural movement. Controlling it this way without a bobber allows you to keep the fish in the strike zone longer, keep the bait in the strike zone longer, and linger where you need to. Especially in fall, some of the fish can be a little lethargic as the temperatures cool, and it allows you to really dangle the minnow right in that strike zone, right in front of the fish, as long as you possibly can, giving you the ultimate chance for a strike. You can also run this kind of like a fly fishing presentation where you're managing slack to control it, the presentation with the current, and then just keeping an eye on the end of the line where it enters the water to see if you get any tension. A lot of hits will happen that way. Most of the hits I've had on this so far have been quite drastic and noticeable, but if you're not keeping up with the slack because that's how you choose to present it, don't worry too much. Just make sure that you are managing that slack prior to your hook set. So again, large or medium fathead minnow. I'm using a size 2 Falcon hook. You can also use Gold Aberdeen. That's a good go-to of mine as well. No sinkers. You're presenting this weightless, nice and natural. Small twitches to keep the fish interested and to kind of exaggerate the natural motion you're getting from the minnow, and just keeping an eye on your rod tip and for feel, and also the end of the line to see when the slack tightens to know when you have a strike. Other than that, it's very straightforward. It's a very fun way to fish, and I hope you'll give it a try.